Well, the 14th Amendment, here we go, 1868. 2 years, 2 years before the naturalization law. See, there were people who were drafting this stuff all along, man. They were drafting this stuff like mad demons, man. And what to do with these people. The 14th Amendment to the Constitution that granted citizenship and equal rights and legal rights to African Americans and slaves who had been emancipated after the American Civil War, including them the umbrella phrase, all persons born and naturalized in the United States. Naturalized is what? Born, yes. Okay, now you have, I think there's a legal term called just soli and just sanguinis, the right of birth and the right of blood. I think you have that there. The 14th and 15th Amendment, how does that really fit with the Dred Scott's decision of was that 1857? How does that fit in with the Dred Scott decision that says that anyone who claims to be other than a citizen has no rights? If you proclaim to be black, Negro, or color, you're 3/5 of a person. You're not even a human being. You're not a whole human being. There were people who were orchestrators of these legalities who challenged it later on. They challenged it and says, well, wait a minute now. How could that be? They haven't even stated their nationality. We don't have to let them vote. Because that had been going on a long time before Martin Luther King came and says, well, we need Voting Rights Act. Because it occurred to me, well, you don't even really have them anyway. The 14th Amendment, it speaks like a forked tongue. Because how can you say all persons are born or naturalized in the United States are citizens when, how can you say that in 1868 and less than 11 years prior to that, you didn't consider an African American a human, a person? You didn't consider them that. You said they were 3/5 of a man. They weren't even a whole man. It says all persons born and naturalized in the United States are subject to jurisdiction. And they're speaking about so-called African Americans. You just said in 1857 that Dred Scott was not a man. He was not even a person because he had no free national name. He had no knowledge of where he come from. He couldn't didn't proclaim his nationality. And I think that was Supreme Court Justice Judge William B. Tanner. He said that. So that was already stated. So what are you coming with the 14th Amendment? Unless it's covering so-called free white people who still didn't know, a lot of them didn't know who they were. But it certainly that has nothing to do with those of African descent, I would think. It was adopted June the 9th in 1868. It was one of the Reconstruction Amendments. See, here again, if you look at The Great Conspiracy, I think that's what it's called by John P. Logan. If you look at what he wrote, Johnson and other segregationists were trying the best they could to make sure that the 20 sections of the 13th Amendment was never really looked at, and because this is what we're giving you instead, or we're saying this instead. It was like a sweep. This is a sweep under the rug type thing, because as the Reconstruction Amendment, the amendment addresses citizenship rights and equal protection of the laws, and it was proposed in response to issues related to former slaves following the American Civil War. The amendment was bitterly contested, particularly by the states of the defeated Confederacy, which were forced to ratify it in order to regain representation to Congress. Roscoe Doskell stuff. confusion, confusing in the minds of the ones that do believe. They know that stuff couldn't fly, but they know there were certain so-called Negroes that would buy it like they're doing today. And they can continually use us as pawns and do what they want to do, like they're doing today. But the amendment's first action includes several clauses. The citizenship clause. All persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Well, I mean, we're not citizens of the United States anyways. What does that mean for us? It doesn't pertain to us. We're citizens of the United States of America. It's a big difference. The 14th Amendment is almost like it's trying to take over a United Supreme Court decision of the Dred Scott decision versus Sanford. I mean, it's the okie doke for many of our people who think that they can just get by with that. They can't. Well, the 15th Amendment basically states the rights of citizens of the United States of America to vote, and they would not be denied or abridged by the United States or any other state on account of race, color, previous condition of servitude. But hey, look at this. The 15th Amendment granting African American men the right to vote was adopted by the U.S. Constitution. What year? 1870. Here we are at 1870 again. 1870, the same year that the naturalization laws of 1870. It politically mobilized African American community, joined with so-called white allies in the southern states to play ball, really. Now, the 1870 15th Amendment, it really means that the citizens of the United States, and see, this is real tricky here, because in 1870 they said that we became eligible for citizenship, but they never allowed us to get it. So how was they going to swing that out? They would swing that out when they needed it. When they needed it, they would swing it out, because many of us couldn't read or write. We couldn't. How we know what to vote? The most thing we had to do was to make our mark. Well, you agree with this, John Henry? Yeah, make your mark right here. Oh, there's my mark right there. It's the same mark. The X is a mark. Anybody can make an X. And we made our mark. But the 15th Amendment has nothing to do with free national citizens. It has nothing to do with Moorish American Muslims. It has nothing to do with anybody who look like us and have their free national name and religion. It has nothing to do with it. The legal definition of the 15th Amendment is saying that the right to vote would not be denied by the United States, would not be denied because of our race, which would be Asiatic, our color, or our previous condition of servitude. It doesn't apply to us, even if they try to. See, this is how we get over in places like Georgia, who have these, what they call these voting right blocks, where you got to jump 10 feet and you got to roll over 100 times before you can vote. Well, how many people can fit in your living room? You know, ridiculous questions. You can't question me about anything there, because I didn't come from a place of servitude. I didn't. And race has nothing to do with that, because if you say that I'm black or African, that's not a race. A colored man is not colored. Pain, starness, it has nothing to do with us. Nothing.
Okay. The 14th and 15th Amendment does not address citizens of the United States of America. It addresses U.S. citizens, which is a whole different program, in which we would need an ample amount of time to discuss. The Prophet Noble Drew is specifically referring to us as citizens of the United States of America, and that of course, is on our nationality identification card. That's important because the United States of America is not U.S. It's a different entity within itself. So I wanted to make that point and make it very clear that there is a big difference. USA on our nationality card does not mean United States of Amexem. It does not mean that. It means United States of America. Okay, let's make sure we bring that home. Well, a Puerto Rican, for example, is a U.S. citizen, but not a citizen of the United States of America. Thereby, they don't get all of the rights and privileges of citizens, voting, aid, etc., because they're not considered a citizen of the United States of America. Well, they would have to swear their allegiance to the United States of America and take and forget about where they come from. Then they would become a U.S. citizen. That's not the route that our prophet meant for us to take, being that we're not taking the handouts. We're only going to observe what they have, what they say they have, and what is rightfully due to us, our free national name and religion before the constitutional government. So to go under the banner of not the banner, but the umbrella of U.S. citizen is not for us. It never has been. It has nothing to do with us. That is for someone like the Puerto Rican or the Negro, black, and colored, who really does not understand what citizenship really means in the United States of America.